I worked with Minister, I end up even trapping on my dress earlier on. Because I wanted to show him that we can walk in Gauteng. Good afternoon, program directors. I am not going to be long because my minister will be speaking. Let me greet the two program directors, Chabalala and Lisiba. Let me greet our minister, Babu Motsoaledi, and Babu Pasha, Deputy Minister Wetu, all MECs that are here from other provinces. Thank you, colleagues, for gracing this occasion. I know you are hectic in your provinces, but you were with us. Some of you arrived yesterday. We truly appreciate the support, and I promise I'll definitely support you with those programs that we're doing in the borders. We will definitely activate them, especially on this one. That is critical. Let me greet our councillor who has left us, our MMC for health, and Mayor is not around, and I've already forwarded his apology. The chairperson of the committee is here. I know after this we're going to Raima Musa because we have been visited by NCOP Select Committee with him and other colleagues because they want to check what's happening at Raima Musa Minister, including some of the recommendations from Ombuds. So we've said they must come and see the progress that we've done, which it's not bad at all now. And they're going to other hospitals like in your Tambo Memorial, Smukeng and others that they feel that they need to feel the pulse. But in that process, we'll definitely not leave the message that we're supposed to do of conscientizing people about the issues of HIV and AIDS. Nobuhle Mthembu, the speaker, she was supposed to be here. SANAC leadership that is led by yourself, Dr. Temsile Kulu. We really appreciate the support and we salute you. In every event, there's nothing that you don't always make sure that we are on track as the province, including sending messages that says municipalities must take full responsibility. We have launched all the structures now, working with Chabalala, which we really appreciate that you gave us, Chabalala, after the leadership that was there working very closely with us too, including those that were in office. We still work together with them. There is no gap, and I think we really appreciate it because of your leadership. Because sometimes when people leave, they end up collapsing everything. Those colleagues are still with us, working very closely with us. We truly appreciate that. And the other leaders that are here from the WHO, from the UNAIDS, the Regional Director, Eastern and Southern Region, all various partners and NGOs, media that is here. Minister Maguzawe nabaza bonke. And please don't misquote him on the messages that he's going to say. I can see all of you, you are here. Say things, good things about us, things that we are doing, and advise us again. Ladies and gentlemen, good day to everybody. Today it marks a historic day indeed in our journey to end HIV and AIDS by 2030 and achieving the UNAIDS 95-95 targets. I like that 95-95-95 targets because I always say, Minister, in school I was never been number last, but I've never been number one. I just want to challenge everyone here. I am to my MECs, I'm going to be number one to reach this 1.1. The number that we have been given, I'm going to challenge you because I want you to know that that's 350 something. We're going to move beyond that because we are going to aim high. So colleagues, ndimlo, ndimepam kwenu, challenge yena nizongithola. Nizawuve nationally sithi numbers zehlile. It will be approved by independent bodies that are indeed we have targets. We've met the target. Chabalala uvile it's a task now. So as we gather here for this critical mission, the launch of 1.1 million antiretroviral gap, which is the campaign that is more than just numbers. It's about saving lives. It's about ensuring access to our healthcare facilities. And it's about restoring hope for those living with HIV and AIDS. In this gallant fight of ending HIV and AIDS by 2030, Gauteng has made commendable progress. One of those that now are sitting at 97% of people living with HIV that know their status. The second issue is that we're sitting at 78 of those that have diagnosed treatment, and this is where we must work harder. The third one is 94% of those on treatment are virally suppressed. Minister, we're doing this because when we go to Parliament, Advocate Ezra Litsualo always says, let's give him tangible things, research-based things, not thumb sucking. So we're not thumb sucking this. We have that. We've bought laptops, iPads for all our teams that goes to the communities so that they can identify and note each and every household. We have that corner to corner. We go to every house when we do the corner to corner. As a fiki semester in cities nonke, it's us that goes to those houses and check and count in every house. We have 536 wards, Minister, in Gauteng. Each ward we have assigned people that must work with those wards in the 5 regions. So we're not going in a place, not in a ward. It's a ward, it's a street. We're using the VT streets that you use in your community, in your NGO, because that already that's a better place to start stepping on. So that's why it's becoming much more easier for us to do this work. So we know these percentages because that's what we get directly from those people, including those that are lost to follow up. And Uputisa Sebenza Naye, because I think he stays in Gauteng, that he knows other people definitely who are disgruntled like him because of our attitude in the clinics. As much as we've launched, I Serve with a Smile and Care campaign. It's going to assist us then to go to those communities and bring back all those that we have lost because of our attitude, Minister. We promise you. So as Gauteng province, we are currently having 326,346 people who have fell short of meeting the second 95 target. It is not just an accidental that we have chosen the launch of this campaign in Johannesburg district. We have 141,000 people, 215 that who are diagnosed but are not on the treatment in Gauteng. This is where we draw the battle lines, then where we are going to see us going in full force in this campaign. So our challenge lies in ensuring that more people diagnosed with HIV are initiated and retained on the ART. That is why this campaign is urgent and necessary as soon as tomorrow. Minister, I want to assure you again and everyone present that Gauteng is battle ready to meet this challenge head on. We will deal with it. Just last Friday, on the 21st of February, we distributed 16 mobile clinics across all the 5 districts. These clinics are not just wheels, these vehicles, clinics on the wheels, as I call them. They are lifelines that will reach the most remote and underserved areas, ensuring that HIV testing, treatment, and care of services are accessible. Additionally, last Thursday, again on the 20th of Feb, we celebrated the graduation of 147 HIV testing services counselors, which we call them HTS. These professionals will be at the forefront of this campaign, ensuring that people get tested, start treatment, and stay on it. Their role is very crucial in helping us to bridge this gap in treatment and adherence, especially where we still see some gaps. We're also activating again our ward-based outreach teams. These teams again will go deep into hostels, informal settlements, farms, and high-density areas, ensuring that no one is left behind. I'm part of those activities, Minister. There is not a single region that they will go or they go without me. It's my program. I call it MEC's project. This one, we've been doing it, but now I'm going to be more aggressive because I will be directly linked in terms of reporting. I will be the one that is leading the charge, reporting to yourselves, working with my chief directors that are just behind you in that table. Bayaza kulalwa Minister eGauteng. Siyasebenza ngoku abazolala wesilena itask esiyithathayo. And through our youth zones in the clinics again, we're providing counseling, education, and prevention of strategies to ensure that young people stay HIV-free or adhere to treatment if diagnosed. Gauteng is South Africa's economic hub, meaning that people move in and out of the province daily, but it can't be an excuse that we're in transit. I always say that we're in transit, but it mustn't be an excuse. It doesn't mean that we can't work. This presents a challenge again in tracking, retaining patients on treatment, but we will not let that deter us. Our multi-pronged approach, including mobile clinics, outreach teams, community mobilization, will ensure that we find them, we treat them, and we keep them on treatment. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can be assured that Gauteng will deliver on this campaign, we are ready to do whatever it takes to meet our targets. Come December 2025, Gauteng will proudly be among those that will report a success. We will not fail, Minister, because if Gauteng fails, the whole country fails, and that is not an option for us. Ladies and gentlemen, to officially launch this campaign, it's my honor to introduce to yourselves a leader who has dedicated his life in public health, a champion in the fight against HIV and AIDS, a champion again on NHI, and the Minister of Health with his Deputy Minister, that they work hand in hand in changing the lives of the province. Dr. AARON MOTSOALEDI, if you can come and address us, Tata. Thank you. Danki, ngiyabonga, ngiyaleboha. Enkosi.
Thank you, thank you. We may settle down. Thank you very much, program directors, my colleague, the Deputy Minister of Health in the Republic, Dr. Joe Pasha, my colleagues from provinces, starting with the host MEC, Menomantu Komoralo Hoko. We also have the MEC for Health from Pumalanga, Me Sasekani Manzini, MEC for Health from the Eastern Cape, Mentandogazi Kapa, MEC for Health from Limpopo, Mediekete Mashiru, MEC for Health from the Free State, Re Munyati Mashati, MEC for Health from Northern Cape, Re Marupin Lukwen, the MEC for Health from Northwest, Les Resid Lorehari was here earlier on. He had to rush somewhere. While I know that protocol has been observed, I could have said so. But I thought it's important to mention them by name and that they are here to show the seriousness of this campaign. That we are all united, belonging to the same family, to come and launch this campaign. The co-chair of SANAC and chair of civil society, Reso Lintugu, the CEO of SANAC, Dr. Tembikulu, and UN agencies who make us very excited when they left other countries to come here to deal with this matter. From the UN AIDS, we have got Me-En Shongwe, who is representing the executive director of UN AIDS, Mewini Pianima. I was expecting her here, but of course she has sent a representative. I met her personally in Davos in late January and told her that we need her here so that people can see that we are taking steps towards ending HIV/AIDS within a very short space of time. Other UN agencies, especially the World Health Organization, represented by Ms. El Halabi. We also have other development partners here, Civil Society Forum, people living with HIV and AIDS, ladies and gentlemen. Good day, and thank you very much. Let me tell you exactly why we are here. I know some people before me did tell you, and the program director did, but it can never be enough for me to repeat it. We are here because we want to vanquish HIV and AIDS and eliminate it as a public health threat by 2030. That's why we're here. If we miss that target, it might not be because we did not try, but we want to. Because I want to give this message to South Africans. We must not reach a situation where we accept that there's a disease called HIV/AIDS and it's here forever. It's not here forever. We can't do away with it. It will be here forever only if we wish so, or if we allow it. Because the best way of fighting diseases is to do away with them. And this is possible. It all depends on us. It is within our hands. It depends on our will. We want to emphasize that because the possibility exists and it has already happened in the past that the world accept to live with a disease that they can do away with and allow it to be among their midst. We know that there are people living with HIV and AIDS. They are our brothers and sisters. And we are happy that they are always among us and that they've got the courage to face this. And they are living normal lives. However, we are saying we can stop its spreading so that in future we work towards fighting other diseases, but not HIV/AIDS. It must be history. We are scared that the world, especially our country, I'm mentioning our country because it has got the biggest infection rate in the world. But we are scared that the world once allowed this type of thing to happen. In 1882, a German scientist called Robert Koch discovered that there is a germ called Mycobacterium tuberculosis that causes a disease called TB, which became treatable, very treatable. But the world allowed it to live with us. And even today, it is still here because we have allowed it. Many people don't know that in its lifetime, which is still continuing, the disease called TB killed more people than HIV/AIDS itself, Ebola, malaria, yellow fever, cholera, typhoid, COVID-19, influenza, mpox, all of them added together. TB killed more people than all these diseases added together. But it still did not shake us. That why don't we do away with this disease? We just relaxed as a whole world. I'm told that by today, about 2 billion people in the world have been infected by TB. We allowed it. So I'm saying to you, we are not about to agree to allow HIV/AIDS to follow the same course. And that's why we are here to say we need to take the last mile. The last mile towards dealing with this disease. This also happened before. In the same way as we allowed TB to be with us for ages, since it was diagnosed in 1882. Remember, 1882 was the year it was identified, but it has been there for ages. When scientists dig Egyptian mummies, they found the sign of TB there. So it has been there for centuries. But since 1882, we knew its existence, but we allowed it. But other diseases were able to get rid of them. For instance, the world got rid of smallpox after it had killed 300 million people. But in 1980, I remember my excitement. I was a third-year medical student when the World Organization stood on a platform and announced that smallpox is no more. Even today, smallpox never traveled us after killing 300 million people worldwide. Because there were campaigns to get rid of it. Well and fine, there was a vaccine. But that vaccine did not just get into the bodies of people. Men and women stood up and ran through the whole length and breadth of the world, the whole corner of the world, and vaccinated people. I was saying earlier on, when I want to check whether you are our age group, those of us who have been in this world for a long time, when I want to check, I just check on your shoulder here. Those who were there with us in 1980, yes, will find a scar here. A round one, typical, classical. That is for smallpox. There are very few people of my age group who don't have that. Because the World Organization moved every corner, every village, all over and say, we are vaccinating people. We want to do away with this disease that kills so many people. And they were successful. Polio. When I was a kid at primary school, it was never possible to go to any school and find one kid or many walking with calibers because of polio. We were getting used to that. That's normal, that you must just find it with calibers and moving around, because polio affected their spinal cord. But a campaign again was launched. Today, as I'm standing in front of you, polio is only left in 2 countries. That is Afghanistan and Pakistan. I'm talking about the white polio. And it is there because there were people who made it to persist. Unfortunately, religious leaders in those countries. At some stage, some years back, the World Organization used to describe a concept. Okay, I do have a rally voice anyway. Oh, he's back. A concept which they call pain. It was causing pain to the world. And pain stood for Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, and Nigeria. Because those 4 countries, ministers of religion were fighting against vaccination. They were mobilizing against vaccination against polio. And the 3 countries became a real pain of the world. And it so happened that their first word spelled the word pain. Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, and Nigeria. A campaign was launched by people around the world. So the last 2 words of pain are gone. We are left with only PA, which unfortunately is also my initials. That's quite unfortunate. We are left with that. So what I'm trying to show you is that if we decide as human beings that this disease must go, indeed it goes. If we decide that we want it to stay, it will stay. So we have decided that we need to let other diseases go. The simple reason is also that others are coming. And we don't want them to pile on us because they will overcome us. Others are coming. And so let's do away with the old pandemics. It's not my wish that others must come, but we do know why they are coming. And how do we know? We know that unfortunately we are still going to get more pandemics coming. We were wishing when COVID came, the way it harassed us, we lost many people close to us. And the way it harassed us, we wish there could be no other pandemic, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the world is not going to be like that. The other pandemics are coming. And the reason why we know they will be coming, at least, there might be many, but at least we know 3 reasons why pandemics are going to come to us. Reason number 1 is climate change, which one very powerful man in the world doesn't believe it exists. But climate change exists. And when they go to negotiate it in COP17 or what, COP, they call ministers of environment, ministers of foreign affairs and other ministers, they all go to meet to negotiate the battle against climate change, the mitigating factors for climate change. And I ask them, why in hell don't you think we must be leading this campaign? Because when climate change starts affecting human beings, it's in health where we're going to feel it, more than in any other sector. It's us in health. So we know that because of climate change, new diseases which we have never seen before are going to emerge because the world will have changed. When we were in Davos, the president made a joke when he came to join us because he found us there. And he said, "How is it?" I said, "Oh, I'm very scared. This place has changed. This place, I've been going to Davos for 10 years. When you go to Davos in January, it's the middle of winter. It's a skiing resort. There is snow everywhere. Now, this time around, and in January every year for 10 years, I've been going there. When you arrive in Davos, the temperature is 15 degrees. Please, the TV which was listening, I don't want to mislead people. Minus 15 degrees, not 15. Yes. It was minus 15 degrees. This time around when we arrived, it was 3 degrees, not even 0. It was very scary. It was 3 degrees for the whole week. I said, "Hey, man, something is happening around the world." There's a river there that goes through Davos. I've never seen it flowing because by that time it's ice. You just see a lump of ice in a donga. This time it was flowing very freely. There was equipment that is always bought when we come to Davos to clean the street, to remove the snow. This time when we left after 5 days, that equipment was brand new, parked at the corner. There was no snow to remove. So I said, so this world is changing and it's going to bring to us things we have never seen before. So we must take this thing serious. The second reason why we believe pandemics will be coming is what we call antimicrobial resistance. In health, in agriculture, we are using antibiotics in the way we shouldn't. We give people antibiotics even when they don't need them. They are even given to cows in dairy farms, etc. And the microbes have decided to resist. Not surprising. Any living organism, if you attack it, it starts resisting. It fights back. So the organisms have decided to fight us back because we just showering them with antibiotics. So there's something called AMR, antimicrobial resistance. It's making diseases which we used to treat in the past untreatable. So we are not scaring people that one day you get into a hospital walking because you are going to do a hip or a knee operation. and you get infection there and you never come out. Because whatever has infected you refuse to die because it has developed resistance. So it's antimicrobial resistance. The last reason why we know pandemics are coming is because us human beings have started encroaching on the habitat of other organisms. There was a time here when we were ridiculed by social media and everybody because in Arcane Hospital, that hospital was invaded by monkeys. And social media showed them running around the beds, and it was a very sorry sight. I had to rush to Durban. And the reasons were simple. The municipality wanted to develop housing somewhere in next to Chatsworth, where RK is. And there were monkeys living there. Instead of relocating them scientifically, they just removed the trees and everything and put housing settlement there. Where will the monkeys go? They found their way into the hospital. Because you have taken their area. Now, this is what human beings do. Remember, even Ebola, when it started around the Ebola River in 1976 in the DRC, it's because there's a man who went there to Temba with a monkey looking for food. And today we are having Ebola. It doesn't go away because somebody went to Temba with monkeys. So we do Temba with national organism. So all I'm saying is because we know these pandemics are coming, we're even doing what we call pandemic preparedness around the world. For us as presidency of G20, out of the 5 priorities, one of them is pandemic preparedness. We have to prepare for pandemics because we suspect they are coming now. They can't come and pile over each other. TB, HIV, AIDS, malaria, even those have been long ago. So let's come together and say those pandemics that have been there for some time, let's do away with them. Let's eliminate them because we can't stop the others from coming. So our task today is to start the last mile of this 1,000 miles. You know, a Chinese saying that a journey of 1,000 miles start with the first mile. We started the first mile when we launched a campaign in 2010 at the then Natal Spirit Hospital in Ikuruleni to start the fight against to launch a campaign which we called HIV counseling, testing and treatment campaign. And today we have got 5.5 million people. We started with the first step. There were people who were on ARVs at that time. It was not the beginning, but only 10% of our facilities were offering ARVs at that time. 10%. And we had to launch a campaign to say all the 90% of South Africa's health facilities must offer treatment for HIV. And today they are. That was the first step we took. Now today we are saying, in that journey of 1,000 miles, we are starting the last mile by launching this campaign, this time in the city of Johannesburg, here at Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital and Lillian Goy Health Center. And so let's walk this last mile together. By 2030, we should have arrived. We can't eradicate HIV and AIDS, but we can eliminate it as a public health threat. And we are left with 5 years. What is the story with 1980? 2030, I mean to say. It has been agreed by all countries in New York at United Nations General Assembly as one of the sustainable development goals, that one of them is that we must bring, HIV AIDS to an end. And so we can, if we so wish. Yes. One other disease that is troubling especially women is cancer of the cervix, of the uterus, of the womb. And we are determined that before this year comes to an end, we must launch a campaign to do away with cervical cancer. We must do so. And it's within our reach, if we are willing, we must launch that campaign. And we must keep on targeting these diseases one by one and say, no, this one now, it must come to an end. We've fought enough, it has infected enough people or troubled enough people. It must stop here. And we are going to do so. So at this juncture, ke tla kgopela banna ba gešo, ba eme ka maoto. Women, this has got nothing to do with discrimination. Please allow me. I know in Zulu culture there are times when they say only men must stand and not women. Now I'm asking men. Shh. I am asking men to stand up. Banna ba gešo. Banna ba gešo. In this war, we are the ones who are problematic. Mo ntweng ye ke rena banna ba re swarisitseng lefatshe bothata, not bomme ba. Bomme, they've played their role to fight HIV and AIDS. And we've got evidence, we're not just talking emotionally. I know Kile Kabola saw some years back when you launched this campaign. Somebody on social media, no, you know. I'm not doing so, this affects. In 2010, when we launched this campaign, after testing 18 million people in that campaign, 65% who came forward to get tested were women. 65% were women who came to test. 5% were children, and men were the rest. You can imagine, do your mathematics. So when we say men are a cause of this problem, we're not joking, it's a reality. There's a story here that was said earlier on, and I want to repeat it because I once said it some years back, that the unfortunate part is that if you take all the men to the moon and leave them there, and leave women here on this planet, and all men go to the moon, when they come back after 10 years, HIV/AIDS will be gone. There's no question about it. That is a fact. That is a fact. It will be gone completely. It will be gone. And of course, you take all men, and because of the position I'm holding, I'm sure I'll remain because I'll be. Yes, you can't. Yeah, I mean, you need the supervision. So I'll remain for that. We'll take all the others. When they come back, it will be gone. I'm dead sure of that. But if, on the other hand, we take women, all of them to the moon, and leave the men here, when the women come back, they'll find HIV is ravaging. It will still be ravaging. It won't go away. That is a fact. So, my brothers, if we are willing, we can help a lot in this battle. It is us who are holding it back. I was told that when we go to clinics, women come there in large numbers because their health-seeking behavior is there, is established. Men are hardly ever found in clinics. Now I got scared because the DDG for HIV and AIDS in the department is Reverend Murewani, and the senior manager in SANAC is Reverend Zone Vutalo. We've got these reverends who are running this campaign. And they tell me, Minister, even in church, men are not there. So when you go to clinic, you don't find men. When you go to churches, you don't find men. If you ask a man why they are not going to church, They say, no, my wife is going. Milk and a drag, and I don't have to be there. Now, when we ask them after realizing that only less than 30% of them are testing, I ask a few men, "Hey, Muna, did you test? All right, no, male testing more high. My wife has tested, so there's no need for me. Now, these women must do everything for us, my daughter, man. They go to church for you, they test for you, they cook for you, they wash clothes for you, they iron your clothes, they take care of your children. So why should you be in this world, man? You may as well go, man. What are you here for? You know? So today, my daughter, we are giving you a last chance. For let's enter the battle. Let's help women to fight this battle. Please. So, yes, with these words, I want to announce that the campaign is launched. Ozani, my daughter. Thank you very much.